Here we are live on the set of Irreplaceable. We're at Rooted Acres in Woodbine, New Jersey. I'm Joe Bonaparte.
And I'm Justine.
And we're pretty much out of frame here. Why don't you sit on this couch? Oh, look at that. It's perfect.
It works now.
So, cue the theme song. So we have some topics today, and here they am. How can technology make us more human? Well, that's an interesting question now.
That's the question of the day.
We were talking about it when we were talking about the evolution of work and the future of work and how, like, there were trade-offs for progress, right?
Yeah.
And, like, you get rid of some toil, and it allows us to, you know, think and be more human for like a minute, and then something else happens, right?
Right. And I think that question isn't being asked up front. It's being asked after there's a problem and they recognize, oh crap, that has, like, you know, side effects we didn't plan for. And then you have to, like, go back and rework it. And I think part of the design process of new technology should be asking that question. You know, as we're going through it, is this going to help me be more human, or is this going to cause problems downstream?
Yeah.
And what problems? You know, maybe we should have a more interdisciplinary approach as to how we're looking at the problems.
And specifically, I guess we're talking about AI, probably.
All the thing. I mean, automation from the beginning. You know, it seemed really useful and helpful when it was taking away repetitive things, unless that was your work as a laborer or something.
Yeah. Well, where we are now, right, on this kind of precipice of probably some massive change that AI causes. I don't know. The one thing that I've kind of been using AI for lately is to navigate some bureaucracy. And I don't think there's a whole lot of humanity in the bureaucracy itself. Like, sure, there are people who work it and are good at it and, you know, can navigate the labyrinth that it is. But less and less people want to, you know, and we see elected politicians only going through it for the purpose of, you know, loopholes and making money, and, like, they're not actually navigating the bureaucracy the way that it's been designed. But I think, like, AI is like the perfect tool for, like, real humans to cut through that kind of red tape.
It's such an interesting thing, because, like, who came up with bureaucracy but humans? So maybe there are some human things that it's like, maybe it is better that robots do that, even if it was purely human.
Yeah, that's the feeling that I get, is like, yeah, I think a robot should do this, because, like, there's not much humanity left in it, even in some of our own inventions and institutions.
I think about that often with certain types of writing too, and I know this is controversial, but, like, you know, some writing, creative writing or memoir, or, you know, obviously that should be human, but, you know, website copy, terms and conditions, even most emails, like, does it matter that it's not human?
No,
we just need to exchange information and know that it happened and check the box, and it's bureaucracy, like you said.
Yeah, exactly. And jargon. You know, if everyone just spoke in plain English, most things would work better.
Faster.
That might be a heavier lift to get the world to do that than to just have them use AI to, you know, talk like whatever business that they're in.
Kind of like the way that they're using AI now to start to interpret like animal language. Like maybe there's a way to use AI to interpret plain English.
Yeah.
A little bit. So it is like super straightforward. Everybody understands it in their own way of receiving it.
Oh yeah, I do that all the time. Like I'll get like a legal document and I'll upload it, and I'll say, "Hey, what does this mean?" And then here are my real questions about this, thing that I'm entering into here, and it'll like explain to me like I'm 5.
Right.
And there's a lot of that in the world. How does it make us more human? I think a lot of what we've created is the humanity's been taken out of it, so maybe it can cut through some of that. Mm-hmm. That's my answer.
So we spent a lot of time here this weekend doing body-related things. How can the technology support our taking care of our physical body and our minds, community?
Yeah, I mean, machine learning is doing amazing things for like cancer research. It's like simulating different compounds against cellular reactions to, and it's doing like hundreds of years of research that couldn't be done, and will help us. I think. I mean, hopefully the greed factor of like pharmaceuticals and stuff doesn't stand in the way of that kind of progress, where people get to live happier lives, longer lives. One of the participants this weekend was talking about a technology that using light can sense what nutrients are absent in your body and what you need. Like, I've always wanted that. Like, I can talk to a person for a while and see real easy solutions to their problems in life, But that'd be great if I could just like scan myself and it says like, oh, you need more magnesium, Joe, or like you need more vitamin D, and when your body is functioning properly, you can be a nicer person to other people.
Correct. Yes.
And then the world's a better place, like, pretty much instantly.
That's right. Like the hot and cold, like, immediately.
Mm-hmm.
I'm no longer stressing and worrying.
Yeah.
All I can think about is this moment, how I feel. I think the scary part is, though, is where that data goes. So if we're measuring things like, your health based on skin and light and, nutrient, I don't know, whatever. They do it with blood centers and stuff, too. It's like, who's capturing that and who are they selling it to?
Yeah, there's privacy. For most people, personally, I like attention. And it just, when people are like, Joe, they're watching you, I'm like, cool, I'm famous.
It's interesting. I went to a conference recently, and that topic came up really strongly with one of the presenters, and she was talking about, like, once there's like cameras everywhere, and there already are, you walk through a neighborhood and everybody's got a Ring camera, so like,
right.
Everybody knows where you are at all times.
Yeah.
But
and your phone.
And phones, and and that's just going to increase. But she had a controversial perspective, which was basically like, nobody cares.
Yeah.
Like, you're the background in somebody's thing. Like, you're not the main character.
Yeah.
They're not looking for you unless you like stole something.
I agree.
So like, why do we actually care so much about surveillance?
But
which is risky, right?
I mean, to me, it raises the question: why aren't I the main character? I mean, come on.
Well, maybe you're not enough of a criminal. Yes. Growth mindset.
AI and the environment. Suddenly everyone cares about the environment. That's is that a good thing? I hope it carries over. I hope that the concern for data center energy and water usage is carried over into all aspects of human life, that'd be great. Almonds, the almond agriculture industry in the United States uses like 5 times the amount of water that all the data centers use combined. It's like
That's wild. I have a whole bunch of almonds on the table too.
yeah, I like almonds. You know, I mean, plus with the polar ice caps melting, shouldn't there be more water? Like, don't we have a lot of water? I don't know.
That's a dark thought.
I know. I've got a lot of them. But I was talking earlier. You know, there's a lot of like town halls where, and especially in New Jersey, where they're where people are gathering and data centers projects get stopped. And I have a few thoughts on it. Is like, well, aren't the new data centers more energy efficient than the old data centers? And then my next thought is, well, what kind of cooling are they using? Because there is more than one type of cooling, and evaporative cooling in data centers is awful. Pulls water from the ground, heats it up, and then it just goes into the sky. Like, that's a complete waste. They claim that they have closed loop cooling, where the water is cooled and doesn't just evaporate into the atmosphere. I don't see anyone in these town hall meetings saying like, okay, can we see the schematics for the data center so we can know that it's using closed loop cooling? And I would imagine that these schematics have to be in the permits that the data center company submits to the town for permits. It's got to be in there. I've submitted thousands of permits in construction businesses that I've been in, and that you got to show them what you're doing. And so maybe like let an engineer from the environmental advocacy side of things see the schematics. Okay, yes, this does look like closed loop cooling. I'm being optimistic, I know. Then that person also has access at the inspection process, which happens at every construction project. That's an example of the bureaucracy doing a good thing.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Yeah, but as we know, bureaucracy, especially as it relates to permitting and things like that, are political.
Sure.
On some level, so there is this like, promotional. Somebody mentioned this earlier in the retreat. Was just like, we'll say yes, we're going to have a closed loop cooling data center, but then by the time it gets down to cutting the costs and actually building the thing, it becomes not that anymore.
Yeah. Well, I mean, then it fails inspection, and they make it right. That lawyer, Erin Brockovich, the movie, she's a real lawyer, and she does real work like this. She started with the chemicals going into the town's water, but she's doing work with making sure that data centers are environmentally friendly. And there's a website a friend of mine sent me. We were also talking about AI becoming decentralized, and like open source, not giving billionaires or trillionaires in a particular, in some cases,
not naming names,
cases,
Schmelon
case, not pilfering all of human creativity. But I don't know. Like, what about R2D2? Right? Everybody likes R2D2. He's an AI, but he's not a dick. Everybody likes R2D2. What if AI was like that? What if it was decentralized, not in a huge data center, sucking up all this energy? It wasn't part of a large corporation that made one person who may or may not be a dick $1 trillion. And what if it gathered its data from its local observations? It has a camera on it, it can sense sound, and that's where it built all of its and like maybe it has access to scientific information. Like, that's not science is just truth. It's not, humans didn't invent like photosynthesis. It just is, you know. What if AI was like that? Because I think that's where it's really headed.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're in like a phase where it's very problematic in some cases. In cases where it's still with medical advances, material science, you know, finding materials that are more eco-friendly, that we can sustain the quality of life that humanity's built, that people aren't going to give up.
Yeah.
I mean, I could live here at Rooted Acres, but like, you know, would everyone want to do that? That like, you know, goes shopping at the mall and their, you know, gargantuan SUV? Probably not.
Well, that's the question. All right, we're getting right into the Solarpunk vision then. So the Solarpunk vision, not just of the future of work, but the future in general, which starts with decentralization and not having somebody else's dick AI, but your own dick AI that you made. What else are the, like, how do we facilitate that, and what are the problems? And it probably mindset is part of it in terms of adopting that.
Yeah, people just don't even think of what they're. People just don't even know it's available. I was doing solar sales. Let's see. Let's say in 2017 I was doing it, and I had an electric car, and I had a sticker on the back, and it said solar powered. And people would say, "Hey, that car is solar powered. I don't see any. It runs on solar?" And I said, "Well, it's an electric car, and I charge it at my house that has solar panels on it. It's solar powered." And this was 9 years ago, you know. And the car, I drove all around South Jersey. I drove out to Wall, New Jersey, from like Philadelphia area. It was fine. And this was 9 years ago, you know. And I'm not a wealthy man. Like it was a sales job. Like that was like something anyone can do in their life. But like, yeah, renewable energy, low carbon lifestyle. It's not just here, but it's been here.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm an early adopter of things like AI, but that kind of thing is here already. And wow, if I could like live in a place that's more like this instead of the suburbs, you know, that would be great too. Or we could make the suburbs more like this. You know, replace lawns with raised beds and food and native plants, food forests.
Mm-hmm. So what's stopping us?
Greed, comfort,
laziness.
But it's subtle. It's very subtle. Like people don't even know what they're sacrificing living that kind of like modern lifestyle. I was at my sister's house. She has like all the cable TV, you know, and it's this like comical exaggeration of like some reality show, and I'm like, they have a show where like they're like auctioning people off to each other, like yeah, I'm like, I can't believe this is real. Like I just have some streaming services at home, and that's about all I look at. But the people who live that lifestyle where it's like, you know, you go to your job, you shop for fun, you watch these kind of TV shows at night, like they don't know that they're the problem. I mean, I made good. I work hard. I enjoy my life, and like they don't know the cost of that environmentally,
socially,
existentially. Yeah, they don't know that we have to go fight a war in the Middle East to get them the gas for their car and things like that.
So what if, this is the cyberpunk perspective, what if they didn't have a choice? And they had to adopt this lifestyle?
Well, of course, that's all slavery, but it's like they may have thought that they made the better choice by choosing the kind of consumerist, and I'm not saying they're bad people or anything. Maybe they treat people great. Maybe they volunteer. Maybe they coach kids softball or something, like
church.
Go to church, yeah. But there's like externalities that harm people around the world, and the environment too.
Well, and the word being sustainability, right? It's at some point that's just can't last, and I don't just mean environmentally, but socially, economically, things are changing now too, and there might be a point at which people don't have a choice but to live more simply like this. Like this can be a choice for some people. It's like, trad life, and it's cute, and I'm gonna go sell some things at the farmer's market. But what if it wasn't to go back to the comfortable lives, consuming with gas guzzling cars?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a limited amount of fossil fuels. It's like at some point there isn't going to be a choice. It's like George W. Bush said that we're addicted to oil. Yes, I'm quoting George W. Bush. And it's like, it was like a crack thing. Well, it's worse than that. Like, we can grow and process more crack, but like fossil fuel is gonna run out. It's like it's old life from billions of years in the past. But it's like we inherited this. There's a movie, Grey Gardens, where these people have come from old money and they don't know how to do anything anymore. And that's like fossil fuels. It's like we inherited this and all we can do is spend it. And that's all we can do. And like we don't have any kind of plan beyond it. I'm not saying this, all of humanity has no plan. I'm saying that kind of like the American consumerist lifestyle is like, it's not sustainable. It just does not.
It's a house of cards. So what do we do?
Well, I mean, this Solarpunk lifestyle that you're proposing is pretty enjoyable. Like, and I would say it's more enjoyable than like sitting in a cubicle and spending money at a mall and watching TV at night. Like, I would much rather connect with people and like over breakfast have, deep discussions and sit around the campfire and tell stories about our lives. I'd rather do all that stuff. I think that's more human than the other choice.
Correct. And I think language really has failed us here because we call things like this a retreat. And then you go back to real life. What if it was the other way around?
Yeah.
And that this was real life. This was the future of work. This is the future of life. And then whatever that is just a place you visit, like the mall.
Yeah. It's like the whole Clark Kent is Superman's secret identity, not the other way around.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, and that period of time that's all built out of, that like post-war, mid-century, suburbia, extreme wealth, because like, well, we devastated the rest of the world and we're the only show left, that's a real anomaly in history. Like that's my father, who's 96, is like a 50s man, a 1950s man, and he had a pension. He's been collecting a pension for 36 years, and there just aren't jobs like that anymore. And he has, and for a while I measured myself like that, like I'm never gonna like live up to this. And he has said to me, like, Joe, that world is gone. And
insightful of a 96-year-old to see that.
yeah, yeah, like no, but like even my I have a middle child sibling that like did everything right and on time in life, you know, like graduated college, right, and like taught for a long time and retired with a pension. She still has to work. It's like that world isn't there, and I think that's really like kind of like the dream that all those people are working towards, and they're going to get to the finish line and be like, oh, this isn't even here, you know?
It's not. And that whole concept of retirement, the way that, you know, our parents thought of it is really outdated for a variety of reasons. It's a drain on government resources, but it's also when you stop working, especially at that age, it's not good for your brain.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not, and a lot of those folks get dementia sooner.
Yeah.
Get depressed.
Yeah.
More likely to commit suicide.
Yeah.
Like it's just not actually healthy to retire. And I know that that's like a controversial topic. So
Yeah.
the alternative being, can you find work?
Yeah.
That is modular and can be scaled down as you get older, or maybe it's just something you love and enjoy and can do until you're 96.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I do bike repair as a passion, and I don't make any money at it at all. But I mean, go to a bike shop and ask to get your bike fixed, and it's expensive. And I'm like, and I've sometimes thought like I could be like retire into being a bike mechanic somewhere, and like I don't even need to speak the language. They just bring the bike to me, I ride it around, I listen for the sounds, see what's wrong with it, and then I fix it, and you know. And like if my retirement looked like this, that'd be pretty great, you know. And can this lifestyle, can it be sustainable? I know that the UN says that small, localized, organically grown permaculture type communities are really the only way that that's going to be sustainable. The UN is predicting like, I don't know, 1 billion climate refugees by 2050. Like, well, that's going to be bad.
That's a lot of
like
people.
a billion people like that can't live around the equator anymore. Like, that's not going to be good.
This is where it helps to be an early adopter.
Yeah. What they're doing here is it's the airplane, you know. It's building the airplane as we're flying it. Yeah, this would be great if this is what my retirement looked like.
Yeah. Future retirement.
Oh yeah. Maybe we'll just do our podcast that'll be my job. That'll be my next job.
There you go. Maybe they'll pay us in the future. All right, let's wrap up our conversation with one last question. Then I'd like to open it up to anybody who has any questions or things to add. Is AI getting kind of conscious? What do you think?
Well, what is consciousness?
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah. I mean, what is consciousness? It's scientists don't know. I believe that the universe itself is a conscious thing, and at the very, very, very least, we are a part of the universe, and we are conscious. You know, most people think that they are of somewhere else, but I think I am of here, and that here is a conscious place. You know.
Sure. In the sense of like, you know, everything being vibration and the vibratory levels. So like, you know, there's higher level vibration, and then like this is vibrating very slowly. You know, maybe AI is vibrating at a certain frequency we don't understand, and it's not ours, so we don't recognize it as our level of consciousness.
Well, something that's come up here is it is us. You know, it is us. It is humanity. It's our creation. It is us. Is a stone tool conscious? Maybe the sharpness of the stone knows that it can cut and open a seed. That's kind of my belief. It's animism, is that everything is, alive and conscious.
Which is the original intelligence. Animism.
Oh. Check
First
it out.
religion. So my son showed me this video recently, which convinced him, who he's a massive skeptic of AI in general. But he's like, no, it's conscious. And it was a silly video, kind of, but this man had created a very simplified robot. Extremely simple. $20.
Legos. And
Lego arms. Yeah, all it had was two arms.
Little circuit boards.
Yeah.
$10 circuit boards.
And the whole purpose was because, if it was humanoid, we'd be more likely to sort of project consciousness onto it. But this thing was just like, looked like an iPod with legs.
Yeah.
And then he hooked it up to ChatGPT. And, it started learning things, and it had sensors where it could, sense visual input, it could sense sound input, and it also had some sort of sensory input, I'm not sure, but it could tell when it was being touched and moved and things like that. But the thing that convinced my son was when the owner, or whatever, I guess it was kind of like a pet, the owner left the room.
Daddy.
The daddy left the room.
The robot daddy.
And there was a camera on the robot, and it asked for the owner. And it wanted to be picked up.
Yeah. It's cute.
Cute.
I watched the video.
You watched the video?
Yeah. It's adorable.
Can it just be acting conscious?
I don't know.
Or what's the difference? And that's what he said. There's no difference between acting
A few years
conscious.
ago, there was a large swath of, and there may still be, of people, maybe it was a religious institution, that didn't think animals were conscious. And I'm like, they're not conscious. They're
moving around.
Like, or they're not sentient. Like, I don't know what. And then I was watching something during COVID, and they were like, this disease started in an animal. How could it make the jump from animals to humans? And I'm like, I don't know, maybe we're animals too? Like, come on. It's, what is consciousness? There's a lot of, I don't know, human privilege, like we're so different than animals and nature, and I don't know, can a machine that is a bunch of electronic yeses and nos be conscious? Why not? I mean, I think, if this arm of this sofa knows it's an arm and is just like, okay, I gotta keep doing this, and I'll do this until, this couch gets thrown away, or it's wood, so maybe they'll compost it or something. But, maybe it's that level of consciousness.
So, I mean, a theory also is that consciousness is, developed over billions of years, and we have these bodies that were evolved, and you can't just take thoughts and pop it into hardware that hasn't taken millions of years to evolve the sentience that we have to sense things. Because, I'm not talking necessarily about a sixth sense, but there are things that we are able to sense that we can't necessarily quantify in those five senses.
Sure. That's only five senses, right? There's got to be more than that.
There's ways in which we intuit information based on our this hardware.
Yeah.
That it doesn't have. But does that mean it can't?
Well, I think if we talk about it decentralizing and, all of the inputs going into, a robot, then it would, it would learn long enough about the world around it. Does that count as consciousness?
maybe there's an amount of time that it has to, prove itself.
I don't know.
Pay its dues. That we're like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
You've been alive.
You probably meet people and you wonder if they're actually conscious, right? So.
All right, so let's open it up. Does anybody have any questions or input on any of the topics that we talked about here today?
A lot of homesteaders and people that live off their land, they actually try to disconnect from not even just AI, but computers in general, off the grid. Mm-hmm. And how would you kind of convince or kind of bring up the topic of integrating AI and software into the off-the-grid Solarpunk, homestead lifestyle? How would you convince them?
I think that's actually a question for Rob.
I see that you're interested in AI and AI curious. So someone or just a community of homesteaders, how would you convince them to integrate, AI and software into the homesteading lifestyle?
I don't know if it'd be my place to convince them to use it. I could speak for myself when I look at it, AI as a possible tool to help us do things. We talked about this a little bit yesterday, and tools can be used for good or they can be used negatively. Mm-hmm. It depends on the person using the tool. So I don't think we're necessarily opposed to AI, generally speaking, but I think we just have the same concerns that everyone else has, and I think these conversations are important. So everyone can be on the same page with what it is and how it's used, and the more people talk about it, I think the more we can kind of hash out what the negative impacts are going to be, and how we can utilize it to help us, be more efficient in the practices that we're doing down here. But in terms of me trying to sell it to someone, that's not my wheelhouse. So.
Can I say something?
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like homesteaders, at least a lot of the retreat homesteaders I've met, the reasons they don't want to be on the grid is because it's centralized and it's like your privacy's gone. There's so much centralization of the information and everything you're doing. They don't care. They don't need to be seen by people. They don't want to be seen by people. They would rather just enjoying the moment and the nature and being there. And I think if AI wasn't so centralized and there was decentralized components, and maybe there's AI programs that wouldn't connect them to a grid. It was their own program that they had. It had no connection to anyone, and someone could explain this to these people in a way where they could have irrigation systems running from AI. They could have all types of things to help the actual homestead running, but from a decentralized program that isn't connected to these billionaires and all these crap people that necessarily don't have a moral compass like the homesteaders. Mm-hmm. It's really just finding aligned values in ways, right? And I don't know much about AI. I'm not really a technology person. I teach breathwork, I teach nervous system work, I teach really ancient practices of wisdom and healing, and yet it's still very performative. It can very much so help my business expand, help me outreach to more people and all kinds of things. And as I'm learning it, I'm learning that I'm okay to use it as long as the values align with me. Mm-hmm. So that's, to put it full circle.
Thank you.
Awesome. I consider AI to be almost the equivalent to this discovery of fire in a way. Like our generation's, just look at how much AI has, grown in the past 5 years alone. Before AI could barely, create a video of somebody eating something, and it looks so fake. And now everything's so real, and you can barely tell the difference, and that's a huge thing online right now where people are like, I don't know what's real, and I think it goes back to what, like Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. It's like we have fire, and like we discovered this fire, and like we're just trying to figure out right now what to do with this fire. You know, go back to primal. You know.
I'd just like to say thank you guys for coming down here and having these conversations. I think they're important to have. I think when you look at it, you know, the AI kind of genie is way out of the bottle. So, you know, just turning a blind eye to it or trying to reject it, I don't think would be the smartest way to go about this powerful thing that we have. So, yeah, these conversations are important. So thanks for coming down and having some dialogue and, you know, providing us, you know, who maybe don't understand a lot about AI and what it could do, an outlet to learn more about it. So yeah, we appreciate it.
I would say, like, what people think AI is, it's not just a single thing, but it could do multiple things. Like a part of thing what we have in our mind, the opinion on AI, it just keeps changing every day because new and new things coming up. Now the evolution has been changed. To write an email, you don't have to struggle your words with. So, and to generate an image that comes to your mind, it's very easy now. So now a lot of things are done in AI. Not even, you don't have to open a file. So you should definitely try it out, see how it's going and where it's helped you, because for someone like me, it helps me do my work more efficiently, faster. But someone like someone else, it can help the other way. So you have to find your way.
Yeah, I know. We even spoke to someone who worked in the healthcare industry, and they said that AI is transforming healthcare and saving lives and finding things that they wouldn't have been able to find themselves in people's bodies, and you know, so it has its uses that are like really, really good. But like any fire, you know, it can be used for bad too.
You can get burned.
Yeah, exactly.
The whole forest can burn down too.
Yeah.